feeling disoriented? That's actually the point. Otherwise,
it just looks like realism, and that's the one thing in the world that interests me the least, I would say.
Welcome to the world of artist Toni Dove. We're at her Tribeca studio where art meets geek.
It is Geek Central. I call Lucid Possession a geek opera.
Lucid Possession is somewhere between performance art, film, and a musical event. Projected images, some of which seem to have a life of their own, are paired with on-stage performers. It premieres in April, but today we're getting a sneak behind-the-scenes peek.
The main characters all have these very iconic glowing costumes.
That's an LED-infused skirt.
So they're almost like graphic novel characters that way. They never change their clothes.
There are 3D mechanical projection screens.
It's just very carefully designed so that an image fragments on it in a particular way that makes it appear very dimensional.
There are robots and cyborgs, both digital and material.
You know the difference.
Or do you?
This video puppet uses vocal analysis based on a particular performer's voice.
Voice recognition software translates speech into the video puppet's mouth movements.
That allows the project to lip sync live.
Dove and her collaborators also built a custom motion tracking interface.
Yeah, it's all based on Max, MSP objects, and jitter.
As stated, Geek Central.
It's a programming language that lets you build your own software.
Basically, infrared cameras pick up Dove's movements.
This is the image the camera's seeing, and then these 4 black bars are histograms that show just what's moving.
That motion controls the movement of the videos on these screens, so these digital characters can be animated on the fly during the performance.
If I freeze like this, everything stops. Now I'm moving her arms on the floor, and if I do both at once, then both her arms and legs are moving. It was like dancing a movie.
The protagonist of the story being delivered through all these different channels is a woman named Bean.
Who's a programmer and a designer of smart personalities. And she's created an avatar that's gone viral on the internet and brought her an enormous amount of attention that she's having difficulty managing. And she's so deeply engaged in her programming that it gives her almost paranormal skills. She has a head like a live Twitter feed without the technology.
Does this seem out there? Dove sees the subject matter and the way the story is delivered as mirroring modern life.
It's about the way in which we are all living simultaneously in many registers at once, in between the real and the virtual. And that gives us a sense of extruded identity, I think. This is Hoffman.
As I'm sure you noticed, Dove makes the kind of art that's not easy to categorize, and that runs in the family.
I come from a family of artists, and my grandfather was Arthur Dove, who was one of the first American abstract painter. Probably in the family DNA was the idea that, that it was okay to get off the path with a machete. Basically, I've been working for 20 years developing different forms of interactive narrative storytelling. It's like I'll look at a movie and then the impulse will be to take it apart like it was a pocket watch and have all the pieces on the table and then think about different ways it can be configured.
It's something you put together. You can take it apart.
It's fun. My work is a party I get to go to every day.
We'll update you on where and when you can see Lucid Possession closer to the premiere. For Science Friday, I'm Flora Lichtman.